Good morning and welcome to live chat. And yes, it is morning for me because no dentist this week. Just a nice day of showing Amatsu how to use Second Life and Kitely. Yes, Amatsu's visiting, but don't expect to hear her lovely voice this morning because it's too early for an English person. Remember, I live in Germany, and therefore anybody who comes from England, it's basically an hour out for them. So for Amatsu's body clock, it's actually an hour earlier than it is for me. And you know what these time differences can be like on the internet. You know, you want to go and attend a conference online, or you want to listen to a live broadcast online, and then you realise it's 3 o'clock your morning. I hope you're not listening to this at 3 o'clock in your time. And I hope you're all well. This is Lynn, of course, from the Learn English Network, and it's a very rainy, cold, miserable day in Germany. So I'm not sure what we're going to do for the rest of the day. Probably, as I say, Kitely and Second Life. We can set our own weather in those virtual worlds. So we'll kick off the week with Noipi. Noipi simply wrote, "Hi." For some reason, I'm not sure why. I think maybe because Noipi wrote when live chat should have been on, I replied. Normally I don't reply to just hi, but I replied this time and said, "Hi Noipi, live chat was later today because I was at the dentist. Here's the calendar so you can check for changes." And Aladdin spotted my reply and said, "Dentist?" This big exclamation mark, as in no. And he wrote, I hope you are well." And I replied, "Oh, thanks, Aladdin. Yes, I'm fine. It's just not my favourite pastime. I always feel like I've been through the ringer. I don't know anybody who enjoys going to the dentist, if I'm honest, apart from a dentist, but he's paid to be there." Amatsu wrote, "And how's your TMJ?" which confused Aladdin, who replied, "Hi, Amatsu. Let me ask you a very significant question. What is the TMJ?" Big smiley. Okay, good sentence, but it's not a significance question. It's a question that has significance, but that makes it a significant question. And I kind of gently corrected you later. I don't know if you spotted this, Aladdin. I wrote, "That is a significant question, Aladdin. When she wakes up, I'll ask her." Well, it is Sunday. And Amatsu did reply, "TMJ stands for temporomandibular joint, i.e. your jaw." Why couldn't she just say jaw? Which is actually a lot higher than you think. If you touch the top of your ear where it attaches to your face, that's the TMJ. When you open and close your mouth, you'll feel it under your finger. And no, Lynn, I haven't just woken up! Exclamation mark. I replied, "I don't think you were very impressed with my TMJ, were you, Amatsu?" Because remember, Amatsu's visiting me, so she's had a good look at my TMJ and she kept tutting, so I don't think she was that happy. And Aladdin replied, "Thank you." Okay, let's move on. Malika then came along and said, "Hi, I want to meet and know new people. I'm a girl. 21 old. I'm from Poland." Okay, so it's good. People would understand you, Malika, but capitalize I. Okay, so, "Hi, I want to meet and get to know new people." Yeah, you know something or you don't, but you can get to know something. You can get to know someone. Okay, "I'm a girl. I'm 21 years old," or "I'm 21." Okay, either will do, but not "I'm 21 old." Okay, so "I'm 21 years old," or "I'm 21. And capital I'm from Poland, capital P. Okay, Poland is a country, proper noun, always capitalize. Full stop. Dan replied, I think we'll speak to Dan later. "I'm Malika." I think you meant to say "Hi, Malika," Dan. And then "I'm from Brazil," and it's I apostrophe M, which is short for I am. And Brazil, believe it or not, in English, we spell it with a Z. Brazil. Sorry about that. And then he wrote, "And I am 33 years old." I capitalised again. Okay, but perfect, 33 years old. So, Malika, if you'd looked at Dan's at Dan's reply, you would have seen the correction. 33 years old. So I replied, "Hi Malika and Dan." Tried to capitalise a bit more. I pointed you at the capitalisation page on the website. Then I wrote, "Do you know the song 'Getting to Know You'? It's from the musical The King and I, and it goes, brace yourselves, everybody. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. And it goes on. I won't go on because I'll break copyright. So try looking it up on YouTube. It's a great example of how to use the expression to get to know someone. And getting to know a person or thing takes time. Okay, so if you want to get to know people, you'll have to just take it slowly, like learning English. Don't be in too much of a hurry. Raj then said, "Hi, I'm to learner here. Can someone help me? Can some help me? Actual as normally speak everyone, but I'm to be something more than them." Okay, so we weren't too sure what you meant here, Raj. I think you were trying to, yeah, and Zeb actually replied, "Hi Raj, I'm not sure I've understood you correctly. I'm not sure I've understood correctly everything you said. I read that you speak to everyone, but you want to become better than they are. Is that what you said? I'm not sure at all." Okay, so when you get that kind of reply, Raj, you know you've got a bit of a problem with your sentence structure and the words you're using. I think you meant to say, "Hi, I'm a learner too. Can someone here help me? Actually, I normally speak to everyone, but I want to be better." Okay, I'm to be something more than them. Oof, no, you can't say that. Okay, it just doesn't read correctly. And then Raj said, "Hey, I'm also a learner. Want to be more than usual people speak. Please come with me. Thanks to all." Okay, again, not sure what you meant here. "Hi, I'm also a learner. I want to improve so that I can speak to people. Please help me. Thanks to everyone." Would be okay. I replied, "Hi Raj, where do you want to go?" Then ND Sam said, "Hi, how are you?" Again, try not to shorten everything. It's all right, but it's not great English. So hi with a capital H, full stop. How, capital H, R A R E Y O U U. Full stop. A question mark. Oh, how are you is a question, so you need a question mark. Okay, so I would have put a question mark if I'd been writing honestly. Then Zeb wrote, "Hi, Andy Sam. I think I could turn myself into a journeywoman, so I feel great. I feel something like, you're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. And you? We'll never know, Zeb." And I also replied, "Hi, I'm fine, Andy Sam. How about you?" Yeah, how are you? How about you? And Polly wrote hi, and Zeb wrote, "Hi Polly, what are you up to on your side of the world?" I think it must have been early in the morning. Polly then wrote, "I exist in the other side of the world. I study. And what about you?" So, I exist on the other side of the world, full stop. I'm a student, full stop. And what about you? YOU, question mark. Good. You did put the question mark, but again, try to avoid writing short forms. Okay, Zeb then wrote, "Great to hear that you're not a bot, but a real human being. I stopped going to school a long time ago, but I keep learning. May I ask you what your main field of study is?" Okay, great way to keep the conversation going. Show interest in the other person. And Polly wrote, "My main field of study is languages." Ooh, that would be full stop. Okay, then a new sentence. "Do you mean that?" Okay, so it's do, capital D, you, Y-O-U, mean that, question mark, yeah. "Do you work?" Again, Y-O-U, not just the letter U. And Zeb wrote, "Oh, what languages?" And yes, I work as a business analyst. Dread to think how you've analysed my business, Zeb. Polly wrote, "English, Spanish, Russian, and learning German." So I think you meant to say English. You wrote Spanish, but it's Spanish. Spanish, and capitalised, as is Russian capitalised. And then, and I'm learning German, yeah? And so that would be capitalised. Okay? Then, but I specialised in exact science. Where are you from? I capitalised. Where are you from? AREYOU. Zeb replied, "I live in Paris, the capital of France." And then she said, "Exact science? Question mark. What is it? What does it mean?" Good question. Polly then wrote, "Yes, I know that. You was born in France, or not." Okay, so thanks. I know that you were born in France. You, Y-O-U, were. So I was, he was, she was, it was, you, we, they were. So I know that you were born in France. Okay, so capital F for France because it's the name of a country, and then or not. I'm not sure or not, but yeah, it doesn't matter. And then yes, and then mathematics. So you need a new sentence because you've changed topic. Okay, mathematics, capital M because it's a new sentence. Chemistry. So you need a comma between mathematics and chemistry because it's a list. So mathematics, chemistry, and physics. At the end of a list you put and then a full stop. Okay? Zeb replied, "What's your favourite subject?" And Polly replied, "English," which is really funny. I guess English could be. No, English is not an exact science. No, science is actually easier than English because science has rules. English throws the rules book out every so often. Zeb replied, "Do you often get a chance to communicate in English?" And Polly said, let me just see. "Yes, every day during 6 hours." I think you meant yes, every day for 6 hours. Don't forget your full stop. And then she wrote, "But I have terrible grammar," which would be capital I, and a full stop. And I wrote, "Hi Polly, just say, but I need to improve my grammar." Saying I have terrible grammar, no, no, you haven't got terrible grammar. You need to improve it, that's all. And she replied, "Okay, I take it into consideration." Thank you. Full stop. And say "I will," yeah? Or "I'll." Capital I, apostrophe double L. So I'll take it into consideration because it's like making a promise for the future. Okay, I'll do that. Okay. Um, Zeb replied, 6 hours a day is a lot. I think Zeb's jealous now, Polly. Do you get to speak in English as well? And Polly replied, yes, and what about you? YOU. Zeb replied, not much when I'm in France. Much more when I travel. Yeah, English is not just the language of science and business, it's also the language of travelling around the world. It's great. Marlet wrote hello. Zeb replied, hello, Marlet. And then we had Denny. Denny said, hi everyone. Would you please help me to get what the speaker's saying on this recording? And he gave a link to SoundCloud. I trepidatiously cut and paste it. I never click on a link, but I cut and paste it into my browser. And it was a genuine SoundCloud link. And I had a listen, Denny, and I heard the speaker saying, all your textures, your models, animation, all those kinds of things, it will know where they all are. They're all kind of bundled up into a project. So I think you must have been reading something about, they must have been talking about something like Blender or something like that. Some piece of software anyway. So I hope you found that useful, Denny. You never replied, so I'm not even sure if you saw that I'd listened. Then hi from Lamine. And Lamine then wrote, anyone here? So Lamine, capital A and a question mark. Okay, anyone here? Dan replied, hi, how are you? Where are you from? So Dan, hi, capital H. How are you? The question mark just goes right after the U. Capital W, because it's a new question. Where, which questions are like sentences. When you begin a new one, after the question mark, you capitalise the first word. Where are you from? And again, no space before the question mark. We don't have a space before a full stop, an exclamation mark, or a question mark. Just space afterwards, okay? Or two spaces afterwards, because I'm old-fashioned. And then I wrote, hi Dan, where are you from? And Dan wrote, I'm from Brazil. Now, we write it Brazil to show the Z sound. So we'd write it with a Z, and you need a full stop at the end, Dan. And I wrote, we write it Brazil, Brazil. Welcome to the wonderful world of English spelling. And when Lamine wrote anyone here, I actually replied afterwards and said, we were in Second Life talking about childhood memories. And Amatsu, who's been learning how to use Second Life with me, replied, we are now skipping and jumping all over the place. And we were, but Second Life is a virtual world, so please don't think I skip and jump round the room whilst I'm correcting your texts. And then Amatsu, who's also been learning how to use Discuss with me, wrote, my new avatar. Sorry, Crumble, your turn next time. And you'll see Amatsu has a new avatar of her pussycat, who is a very big, fluffy, ginger and white cat. Zeb replied, if Crumble is a cat, I think it may have other businesses than feeling sorry for not being your new avatar, Amatsu. Well, I hope so. A very good point. So Amatsu replied, hee hee, you're right, Zeb. He's a master mouse catcher and couldn't care less about my avatar. Zeb replied, LOL, good on him. Dan said hi, and Dan then said, "Hi, everybody, I'm from Brazil." Again, Brazil, Brazil. When you're writing it in English, hi, capital H, and then I, capital I. I'm from Brazil, okay? Zeb replied, "Hi again, Dan. I've noticed that you posted a reply to my first message, but it's waiting for moderation." Okay, but it's waiting moderation. The reason why is probably because you're not a member of Discuss. I'll reply to it when it becomes visible. And then she wrote, Brazil with a Z, is the biggest country of South America, isn't it? Um, okay, and then, not sure if Dan replied, said, yes, it is. Where are you from, Zeb? Okay, now Zeb is Zeb's name, Dan, so you could capitalise Zeb in the X in Zeb to show that you're using her. It's a nickname, but it's still treated like a name. Zeb replied, I'm from a country in Europe where people speak French, and the population is about 64 million people. Can you guess it? I was told that a lot of Europeans have made Brazil their new home country. Do you live in a city or area where there are a lot of immigrants from Europe? Ah, there you go. So Europeans would be capitalised. And then Brazil, you wrote it correctly. Well done. So you do know, Zeb, it's just you noticed Brazil that Dan wrote and then you forgot the way to spell it yourself. Then Dan wrote, I have watched movies to improve my listening, and also I've watched news too. So you'd say, I've watched movies to improve my listening, and I've also watched the news too. Okay, and again, capital I for I've, and a small n for news. Zeb replied, I don't watch many movies, but I listen to the news and podcasts in English regularly. What's your favourite movie? Amatsu replied, I've lost my Euronews in French, so I need to find something else to practice my French with. And Zeb replied, in the meantime, you might like these subtitled children's stories, children's stories and videos in the language of your choice, and that's at bookbox.com. I use them for learning Spanish. Hey, Zeb, there's Spanish sessions in Atlantis on Second Life, you know, with real interaction on Spanish. Oh, there was. You'd have to check the calendar, but I think there was. And there's an Italian course starting. If anybody's listening to this wants to learn Italian, get yourself into Second Life. And Amatsu replied, thank you, Zeb. They look really interesting. Once I'm home, I shall have a good listen. And Zeb replied, you're welcome. Okay. Jehun then said, hi there. And Aya said, hi, please learn me British English. Okay. Hi. Please teach me British English. And British, capital B, and English, capital E. Zeb replied, hi, Aya. Is it the British accent that makes you want to learn British English? And Amatsu wrote, but which British accent would you like? Northumbrian, Scottish, Welsh, Cockney, Scouse? Zeb replied by saying ruffle, which is rolling on the floor laughing. Now that is confusing. I'll keep my Frenchy accent. And Amatsu, who's learning French, said, it's the best accent in the world. Very sensual. Mind you, an Italian accent is quite nice too. Zeb replied, it makes it easier for me not to get rid of it, as you're not the only one to think that way. It remains a puzzle for me, though. And my reply just now was, it's like anorexic, Zeb, but instead of body dysmorphic disorder, you have accent dysmorphic disorder. We all miss your accent on Skype, etc. And my reply to Aya was, hi Aya, join in with our activities and you'll learn a lot. Let's start with learn versus teach. Okay, so you wouldn't say learn me British English, you'd say teach me British English. Zara Hassan then said hello everyone, and carried on saying, how are you? I'm here to improve my English. I need help. Okay, that's fine. I'm here to improve my English, full stop. I need help, full stop. Okay. I replied, hi Zara, and Zeb replied, hi Zara, isn't it the Eiffel Tower in your avatar picture? So you wouldn't say isn't it, you'd say isn't that the Eiffel Tower in your avatar picture? And then I replied to Zeb, it looks like it to me, Zeb. And you'll have to look at Zara's profile and you see it does look like a very red sky at night Eiffel Tower. Then Huang Tran has written yesterday, hello everybody, my name is Huang, I come from Vietnam, nice to meet you. And two little, I think they're little cat's ears or eyes. I'm not sure. Or blinking. I'm not sure about that little emoticon. I hope you will share me some ways to learn 4 skills in English effectively. Okay. I hope you will share with me. Okay. I hope you will share me means we're going to slice you up and share you out. Okay. So I hope you will share with me. So it's more give something to me rather than me give something to everybody. I hope you will share with me some ways to learn the 4 skills in English. And I presume you mean the 4 skills rather than just 4 any old skills. I just need 4 of them, which would be reading, writing, listening, speaking, of course. To learn the 4 skills in English effectively. Thanks, capital T, new sentence. And I wrote, Hi Huang, do you mean the 4 skills? We've shared quite a few tips over the years, and with a link to the Improve Your English page, which will then lead you to tips and more tips and more tips. There's tips on the website, there's tips on the magazine, there's tips in the forum. But, as I then wrote, the main thing is to find what works for you and then keep on doing those things. There won't be one thing that works for you, there'll be several things. You can mix and match them. When you get bored with listening, do some speaking. When you get bored with speaking, do some writing. When you get bored with writing, do some reading. Yeah? Don't get bored with English, just do lots of different things in English. Okay? And I think that's it for this week. So I hope you enjoyed listening to me rabbiting on and listening to your posts or listening to other people's posts being corrected. And don't forget, it will help you if you go to the live chat page and find these posts. They're always within the last 7 days from the date of the broadcast. So have a look at the date, which is at the front of each broadcast in the title, and then you can search through the discuss thread and find that date. So go back a week, go back another week, go back another week. It can be a bit clunky, but it's worth it because it's good listening practice, and that's not from me, that's from people who are using it. They do say they enjoy it. You'll have to take their word for it, okay? So, lovely talking to you. Don't forget to be active on the website, on the network, and if you do take part in any of our sessions, or if you do join in any of our chats, or on any of our pages in the forum, in Facebook, in Google+, just be nice, just be kind, and remember, if you can't be good, don't get caught. Bye.